So that happened. Ew. And it had me thinking about change. Like, there was years when I consumed so much. There was years when I unhauled so much, if you've been following this journey. So I figured, let's do a quick little 2024 bookshelf tour before the year comes to an end. And a friendly reminder that change is scary, and sometimes, like, gosh darn it, we did not want this. I did not ask for this, but it's happened. The quote I live by is, be the change you wish to see in the world. And I want to see a lot more kindness and love. So that's what I'm going to pour my energy into. Hope you're taking care of yourself. And I haven't even shown you my favorite series shelf, so let's zoom in. So I actually broke my rainbow shelves, as you can see. I'm a rainbow girly, and I'll explain the exact reasons why, and you should give it a try too, okay? I will show you the evidence. But I always had this kind of dream of having a favorite bookshelf, and honestly, I want this to be like a separate floating shelf in my future, like, condo, apartment, whatever, when I grow up and in my 30s and can afford rent, hopefully. Fingers crossed. So I have here Fourth Wing because it's stunning and beautiful, and I really enjoyed it. It was like a 4-star, and then the second book was a 5-star for sure. These two, Divine Rivals and Ruthless Bells by Rebecca Ross, 5-star duology. One of my favorite duologies. I actually have a lot of duologies to recommend. In this video, I will comment on all the books that I really enjoy. Next, we have the series that made me fall in love with fantasy, Red Queen. No one can tell me that this is a horrible series. No one can give me criticism. You know why? My opinion. I like it. I love it. And I find most people who don't enjoy the series haven't reached the most critical point, which is King's Cage, in my opinion. So if you're going to critique this series, if you've read the whole series, then I'll respect you. That's the only option. Next, we actually have a series I haven't finished. I've read half of the third book. That's The Last Magician series by Lisa Maxwell. Oh, time travel, magic. It's literally so sexy, so amazing. The banter is amazing. Love, love, love. Next favorite series is An Ember of the Ashes by Saba Tahir. So we have Ember in the Ashes, A Torch Against the Night, A Reaper at the Gates, and A Sky Beyond the Storm. Dude, that series wrecked me. So these are my top favorites. There's a few others I wish I could put up here. I'll point them out, but for now, I'm really loving this. And honestly, it's the Red Queen series for me. This little red to dark blue action. Marketing people were geniuses. Then we flow into the white, which I won't go over every single book, but I will go over favorites. I have a couple of series, couple of mangas from years past, a couple faves, like Hecla Magoon is a favorite, auto by author of mine, How It Went Down. The Poet X Here by Elizabeth Acevedo, also a favorite. I have not read Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, so don't judge me. I'm trying. I'm eventually going to do it. And then I have random decor that I don't know if it helps or just blocks the books, but they're there. Going down from white to red and pink. Ooh la la. We have a lot of pink, which happens to be a lot of romance, and I also have some cute little candly stuff here. And then it bleeds into the red. Oh god, red is such a striking color, and if you can't tell, I also like to utilize the spine covers because, like, this spine cover, it's okay, but the red is sexy, so we're gonna leave her on red. Okay, reason number one why rainbow bookshelves are amazing is right here. You see this spine? I mean, she's sexy all by herself, but wait. I think I somehow got a Barnes & Noble edition and, like, the regular edition. If these two were next to each other, it would drive me insane. Who did this? Like, why? So it's like, I want to buy the third one, but then it's like, how do I find the edition that matches my first edition? Like, what the actual F? So that happened. Other than that, let's talk about Christina Forrest is a favorite romance and YA author. We have Renee Watson, her first adult novel, which I really loved. Monday's Not Coming by Tiffany D. Jackson, also loved, also read. Kim Jung, born 1982, loved it this year. Understand why it's a bestseller. Lots of loves. Haven't read the second book, the sequel to Assistant to the Villain. I haven't read it yet. I really want to, but I just don't have the time or the patience. I want to wait for when it's a fun, silly vibe to read it. And then, yeah, I have a lot of mass market paperbacks, surprisingly. I actually really enjoy them. And my sister gave me the first trilogy of the Wheel of Time series, so I have that. I have not read it. I'm not that cool. And I have read the first Foundation by Isaac Asimov. I can say that. But I have the 2 other ones that I need to read. I love high fantasy and high sci-fi. I'm trying to get into it more, so you might see my attempts of being cool, but I am not yet cool. Next, we have this little painting that my best friend made me, and then we go into the oranges. So I do kind of hide my uglier covers behind the painting. It's only this one, Yumi, that is just, it's just not the prettiest spine, just being honest. We have With the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo, which I love. Queenie by Candace Carty Williams. I also love it. Haven't read Emily Henry. I still need to get on that. I have Open Water, also an amazing book. I have some more sci-fi, which I can't wait to get into. Star Wars is such an easy way to get into sci-fi, in my opinion. Priority of the Orange Trees, a book that broke my brain, but like somehow still loved and enjoyed. Ooh, Jacqueline Woodson is a favorite author of mine. Harbor Me is my favorite book of hers. We have this like Welcome to Narnia door thing. I got this at like the dollar store eons ago. This unicorn my mom gave me. She loves to give me trinkets, and this is just a Lego set. And yep, more beautiful, beautiful yellow books. I like Christina Forrest. I think I've mentioned that. I still need to read The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Everyone says it's so amazing and awesome, and I just haven't read it yet. And then Oh Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson, also amazing. That's the red to orange shelf. Boom, boom. Now moving on to, we have a little bit more yellow, and then like beige, and then green. So here, honestly, like this color scheme does not work well. Again, this is why I love a rainbow shelf, because you're really looking at all the colors. You're not looking at that one book that feels like it doesn't belong, you know? I have a series I really wanted to finish this year. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. It was my one goal to finish the Gilded Ones this year, and I haven't done it yet. I don't know. I gotta do it. Ray Bear is also a book that I love. Uprooted by Naomi Novak. I have the trilogy for The Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. I haven't touched it yet. I need to touch it. And then C.L. Pluck is a recent fave author. This novella, even though I knew the end, freaking amazing. Probably one of my top books of this year, to be honest. Not too many. Okay, you know what? She's going up here because I don't want to put her back. She's probably going to be a top favorite book. She also wrote The Midnight Bargain, which I purchased specifically because I enjoyed that novella so much. Haven't read Small Worlds by the same author who wrote Open Water, which was up there. Pew! Lots that I still want to read, like James Baldwin. I want to read the second Emily Henry map. What is it? Not Emily Henry. I want to read the second Emily Wilde book. That's on my radar. I read The Roaring Days of Zora Lily. So cute. Fangirl's a favorite book of mine. Moving into more greens. Color Me In by Natasha Diaz. Also a favorite. We have Insurgent from the, what's it called? Veronica Roth wrote that trilogy. Divergent, yes, I know my series. Oh my god, I haven't read that since high school. I need to read the 5th season. I've stopped myself from buying the whole series, even though I really want to. That's definitely a series I also want to tackle. I read A Little Life, have a whole video about it. Caught a Witch. Sorcery of Thorns is amazing. Ooh, this is one of the duologies I highly recommend. Sci-fi fantasy, The Fates Divide, and Carve the Mark is the first one. This is the second one. But it's just as good as Ruthless Vows, except a little bit less romantic and a little bit more political intrigue. 2 warring countries on a planet fighting each other for land and stuff, and you know, things go awry. Highly recommend that duology. Let's see. Haven't read Family Lore. I need to read Family Lore. Loved Such a Fun Age. Loved 7 Days of June by Tia Williams. Haven't even read the second Crescent City. I really do think it's because this cover's throwing me off. I'm just like, how dare you? But also I want to read the whole series all in one go, you know? So I might be patient. Gotta put on my patient pants. Ew, another series, contemporary fiction Black Girls Must Have It All. This is I think, the third installment to the Black Girls Must Die Exhausted series by Jane Allen. Freaking amazing if you're looking for some adult black contemporary lit. And you might think I'm really cool, like, oh girl, you reading Brandon Sanderson now? What? No, not yet. I haven't read any of his work. My sister had this copy. She was like, hey, do you want this? She wanted a different one, so I was like, I'll take it. I don't know when I'll get into the Storm Archives series, I think that's what it's called, but I know it's one of the top raved about series, so I want to get into her eventually. But I definitely want to do Miss Morden first, which I think Miss Bourne's down here somewhere. We'll find her. You want to know why rainbow bookshelves are amazing? One of my all-time favorite books, Strange the Dreamer. This is the second reason. Do you see that? Who allowed this? Like, the spines are completely different. Like, why? Who? Why? But you'll never know because they're separated by color. Oh, speaking of, we have A Well of Ascension, which is the second in the Miss Borden trilogy. But now we have our blues to light blues. I have a very fun series here by, I think it's like CJ Redwine. It's like magical retellings of stories. Like this, The Wish Granter, is a retelling of, what's that guy who spins thread into gold? Super cool. I got some black romance here. I got some classics I need to read. Miss Bourne, teen favorite, Fault in Our Stars. I got some fantasy I want to read. I got Olivia Blake. I really enjoyed this book, and so far I actually haven't enjoyed her other books, so I'm waiting for more that pack a punch like this one did. This is, again, a mass market paperback of the first book of the Wheel of Time series, which has 12 books. Don't know when I'm going to start that series, but I eventually will because I want to. Black Cake, lots and lots of books. Piecing Me Together by Renee Watson, who is the adult author that I talked about earlier up there, this Skin and Bones book. So Renee Watson is a absolute favorite. I just read this at the perfect time in my life. It hit me so in the feels. Piecing Me Together, highly recommend for my people who feel maybe a little ostracized, misunderstood. This is perfect. Okay, How to Lose a Time War is also amazing. American Panda is such a cute YA contemporary. I used to have so many favorite cute YA contemporaries, so I'm keeping them because like this just made me feel seen as well. A girl who's a dancer going to school, but her parents want her to be a doctor, and she like hates blood. So there's a lot of just really fun YA that I'm holding on to because they're so near and dear. Still need to read Pachinko, and then we go into the purples. Again, Christina Forrest, a favorite. We have Zyla and Kai here. This is such a cute YA romance. I actually have a lot of cute YA romance on this one. So this one, All the Things We Never Knew. Also an amazing YA contemporary. So fucking cute. And Geekarella is just a fun, geeky book. The first Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia book. I really enjoyed this. This was like a 4-star. And then I have some more adult books. Patsy, the Bandit Queen, and this is a YA, The Life I'm In by Sharon G. Flake. We have the first Mistborn. We have the second book in the Black Girls Must Die Exhausted series. We have Bloodmarked, which I have not read. Definitely need to get on it. I think I'm going to read the whole trilogy as soon as Oathbringer comes out. I'm very excited. We have The Year the Witching's really good. This is also another Kekla Magoon book, which I highly recommend. Kekla Magoon, auto-buy author, Fire in the Streets. Highly recommend her. She's so awesome. I have some Shirley Jackson here. I recently actually got that TikTok series that everyone's been talking about. I know my sister loved this when it was actually first published, so I don't feel like a fake fan. But One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns. We have a beautiful history novel here, non-fic. I will eventually read it, but again, huge. Like just as fat as this fantasy novel. So you kind of see the coloring, and we're going into lighter grays. Now we got these grays and browns, and yes, I have my work clothes there because I'm a nasty mother effer. Okay, not that nasty, but I have laundry to do today. I also got recently, the paperback finally came out for the second book. It's A Serpent in the Wings of Night in Ashes something something or other. I just know vampires, love story, love romanticy stuff, and I'm just like, okay, here for it. Don't have time to read it now, but I love that the paperbacks are out just because I'm a paperback girly now. I have more Brandon Sanderson, Tiffany D. Jackson, Ibby Zaboy, also an amazing contemporary YA author. We have the City of Brass trilogy, again, Haven't touched it, but really want to get into it. As you can see, fantasy's my baby right now. So I'm hoping to get into it. Native Son, Jane Eyre, Picture of Dorian Gray, Frankenstein. I have a bunch of classics, thrillers, Enchantment of Ravens, a favorite fall read, Parable of Sorrow. We have the Dark Throne series, I think it's called. It starts with 3 Dark Crowns by Kendar Blake. Really good series. I haven't finished it. I haven't read the 3rd and 4th book, so eventually I will. I have some newer books to my collection too, and then we keep going through. The rest of the books are black. Once you hit black, it's just the rest of the shelves are black. No surprise here. We have the Black Witch Chronicle. This is an absolute fave of mine, absolute fave. But I figured I didn't want to put it on my favorite shelves way up there. Boop, boop. Because it is so dark, it doesn't really need to be up there, but she's an absolute fave. I love her so much. The 5th book is coming out very, very soon. I think in January or February, and I haven't read the 4th one. I have read 1 through 3. I literally can't wait for that last one. I'm so excited. And then I have more black books here. Starless Sea, The Deep, which is a sci-fi book. Oh, Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. Project Hail Mary, which is the second Andy Weir book I want to read. Waiting to Exhale, Heartless, Legendborn. That's Iron Flame. I have it faced out because I think the spine is cooler than the sprayed edges are cooler than the spine. That's what I meant to say. More black books. Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, The Phoenix King, Narnia, A Long Walk to Freedom. Ooh, Carve the Mark. Okay, this was the first in that duology that I mentioned. Super sexy, super awesome. The fact that Insurgents, or like, what's it called? Divergent popped off so hard, but this series didn't pop off so hard. This is like literally her best work. Veronica Roth. Highly recommend. I have more Dune books. You might be like, why do you have 2 and 3 there? Where's 1? She's over here. I've been reading her for so long. I read a little bit of her every night. And yeah, loving it. It's a good way to keep reading such a large series, in my opinion. I have the Daughter and Smoke and Bone trilogy, which I have read and love. Laini Taylor is a magical writer. I have a bunch of other things. Malcolm X. We got some Virginia Woolf. We got some funny sci-fi. We got some serious sci-fi. We got, oh, sorry, book. We got some Jade City, some contemporary, some Margaret Atwood. We have more science fiction classics. Maya Angelou, George Orwell. Another book by Kekla Magoon. Highly recommend. The Rock and the River. Can't recommend enough about race and difficult decisions. Okay, we're down to the final stretch here. We have the Red Rising series, which I've read the first one, really enjoyed it, really want to finish the trilogy, and I know he's releasing more books, which is so exciting. And then I also have a lot of contemporary, YA contemporary down here that I enjoyed. Light Me Up, Kekla Magoon, love her. Auto buy, clearly. We have, why are you upside down? That's so funny. Abigail Hing Wang, the Love Boat series. I have Love Boat Taipei and Love Boat Reunion. The Sexiest Books Alive. I haven't read the 3rd installment that's come out recently. Dear Martin by Nick Stone, also a classic contemporary book that I love and would recommend to everyone. A Wrinkle in Time. This is just a really good sci-fi kid adventure. Concrete Rose by Angie Thomas, one of my favorite novels of her, the least talked about one, which is so sad, but I think this one just packs such a huge punch. The Weight of the Stars, also really good YA contemporary. Same with this, not so pure and simple, more of a funny one. And then I have like some Haruki Murakami that I need to read, some adult lit that I need to read, Writers and Lovers. This one is adult fantasy. Dudes, those are all the books on my shelves. Over here, I have a random Canon camera that my dad had, and he kind of just like does not use anymore, so it just chills here. I have some books, what is it? I have some scrapbooks, some picture books of me and my family, and then I hide all my random journals in this guy, which honestly would make more sense if it went on the white shelves, but it just doesn't, there's no space for it. Woo! I did it. It is done. Those are the recent shelves. Those are the reasons why I love rainbow shelves. I can't wait to, honestly, I mean, I do want to get my own place eventually and collect more books and things like that, but right now, trying to focus on not consuming as much and reading what I have. As you have seen, I have so many books that I haven't read that I'm so excited for, and a lot of them are part of very long series. So trying to focus on what I have, be grateful for what I have, and focus on just what I value, which is, you know, reading. Reading is so important to me. It adds so much to my life. Besides empathy and like making you smarter, it's so calming. It's so relaxing. And also to realize that throughout history, all of history, whether it's a nonfiction book or a fiction book, there has always been strife. There has always been war. There has always been conflict, disagreements. But we will find a way, and we persevere in humanity. And that's why I fucking love reading, okay? So if you haven't yet already, pick up a book today, read a little, relax, touch grass. Everything will be okay.